Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive into whole grains and complex carbs.
Sounds delicious already.
Right. And you've given us some really good material to work with.
It seems like you're really trying to figure this whole thing out.
Yeah, like what even is the difference between whole grains and complex carbs?
And how can they help you have a healthy diet?
Exactly.
I think what's really interesting is how often these terms get mixed up.
For sure.
So we're going to try to clear all that up for you today.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll uncover some cool facts along the way.
Definitely.
So one thing that I noticed in what you sent us was this whole idea of refined grains.
All right.
It's like something's missing.
Exactly.
What is the deal with refined grains?
So a whole grain contains all three parts of the grain kernel:
Okay.
the bran, the germ, and the endosperm.
Okay, the bran, the germ, and endosperm.
Those are the three parts of the grain kernel.
Got it.
And the bran and the germ,
Yeah.
they're packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals.
Oh, so that's the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So what about refined grains?
So refined grains have had the bran and the germ removed,
Oh, no.
which leaves just that starchy endosperm.
So it's like they just took out all the nutrients.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So then they're left with just this kind of bland, starchy center.
So when I'm at the store,
Yeah.
right, and I'm looking at like a loaf of bread,
Mm-hmm.
how can I tell if it's whole grain?
So you want to look at that ingredient list
Okay.
and enriched wheat flour, for example.
Yeah, I see that all the time.
That does not mean whole grain.
Oh, okay.
Enriched just means that they've added back in some of the nutrients
Right.
after they've already taken them out,
Okay.
but it's still not the same as a whole grain.
So what should I be looking for?
So you want to look for whole grain listed as the first ingredient.
Okay.
So that might be something like whole wheat flour or whole oat flour.
Gotcha.
So if whole grain is the first thing listed there,
Yeah.
then you know that you're getting all the good stuff.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, what about complex carbs?
Yeah.
Where do those fit into this?
So complex carbohydrates are a much bigger category,
Okay.
and it includes whole grains, but also other things like starchy vegetables.
Okay.
So that would be like potatoes
Okay.
or legumes like beans and lentils.
Gotcha.
And what makes them complex is their chemical structure.
Okay.
They're made up of longer chains of sugar molecules,
Hmm.
so your body digests them slower
Okay.
compared to simple carbs.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That actually explains why I feel so much more full
Yes.
after like a meal with rice and beans
Yes.
compared to if I just had like a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a slow burn, right?
Exactly. It's that slow burn.
Okay, I like that.
And that slow digestion keeps your blood sugar stable.
Okay.
So you don't get those spikes and crashes that
Interesting.
you might get from the simple carbs.
So it helps with my mood too.
Yeah, exactly. And your appetite.
Okay. That's great to know. This is making a lot more sense now.
Good.
But, I gotta be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just don't get that excited about like a bowl of brown rice.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you have any tips for making whole grains more exciting?
Oh, absolutely.
Because, I need some flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
I need some variety in my life.
Yeah, quinoa is a really good one.
Oh, I love quinoa.
It's a great alternative to rice or couscous.
Okay.
It cooks up really quickly.
Yeah.
And it has this nice nutty flavor.
Mm.
And here's a fun fact.
Okay.
Quinoa is not actually a grain.
What?
It's a seed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a complete protein,
Okay.
which means it contains all 9 essential amino acids,
Wow.
which is really rare for plant-based foods.
That's amazing.
You can also add things like barley
Okay.
or
Real-
farro.
To soups, right?
Yeah, to soups and stews.
Yeah, for that extra texture.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love barley.
Yeah, and you're getting all those nutrients.
Yeah, that's great.
That's what it's all about.
So even like swapping out my toast in the morning for some whole grain bread,
Exactly.
that can make a big difference.
Every little swap makes a difference.
Okay, good to know.
And even like with rice,
Yeah.
you can try different types of rice.
Oh,
Because brown rice is really just the tip of the iceberg. Did you know there's actually over 40,000 varieties of rice out there?
what?
Yeah,
40,000.
40,000.
You're kidding? I had no idea.
So you've got black rice, red rice, wild rice,
Wow.
and they each have their own unique flavor and nutritional benefits.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to start branching out.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to recap,
Yeah.
focusing on whole grains and complex carbs can lead to more energy,
Mm-hmm.
better digestion,
Yes,
and less risk of chronic diseases.
exactly.
Wow, it's a win-win all around.
It is. I'm
Yeah.
sold. And it's not just good for you. It's
Yeah.
good for the planet, too.
Oh, tell me more about that.
When you choose whole grains, you're supporting a more sustainable food system because whole grains tend to be less processed.
Okay.
And that means it requires less energy and resources to produce them.
Oh, that makes sense.
And also, diverse farming practices that include whole grains can help promote biodiversity and soil health.
Wow, so it really is a win-win for everyone,
Exactly.
our bodies and the planet.
Pretty much.
This has been so eye-opening. I feel like I've learned so much today.
That's great.
We've talked about decoding food labels. We've talked about all those different varieties of rice.
Yes.
You're basically a whole grain champion now.
I hope so.
So now that you know all about whole grains and complex carbs,
Yeah,
how are you going to change your daily routine?
that's a good question.
Are you going to try any new recipes?
Maybe once a week?
Or find a new way to sneak some extra beans into your meals?
It's all about being creative
Absolutely.
and being mindful.
Well, this has been great.
Yeah, it has.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
We hope you feel inspired to make some healthy and delicious changes in your life.
I think you will.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so today we're doing